You're the first episode we're recording in season 2.
I love that.
So it's one, I love it too because your content's awesome. But
Thank you.
We got a good friend at Russell's, right?
Yeah.
And I bought
A lot of good friends over there.
I bought something from them off Twitter because they sponsored a Yukon thing, and Teddy put in a couple extra T-shirts.
He's the best.
And so I was like, I bought a bunch of kielbasa and hot dogs, and like these T-shirts show, and my wife hates it because it says, "Do you want some Polish in?"
Oh yeah, yeah.
Russell's?
I'm familiar.
Yeah. Well, you got good merch too.
Thank you.
We'll get to that. But like that was how my influencer career has started.
Yeah.
2 free T-shirts.
That's
from
how it
Teddy.
starts, dude. Then you're chasing that dragon forever.
So like, give me some free stuff, man. Like, no, we buy our hot dogs when we go on the tour.
Yeah, they're so good over there to me, especially when it comes to hot dogs too. It's incredible.
They're like my favorite hot dogs.
Yeah, I say that with 100% pure confidence. It's my favorite hot dog.
Salins.
Yeah.
And I didn't know about Russell's till that trip.
Yeah.
And like I'd bought it off the internet because he sponsored the pod, about UConn basketball. And then we added it on the trip and I was like, this shit's good.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you make a hot dog better than a not hot dog.
Yeah. They put some love in it. They put some seasoning. There's some MSG in there.
Dude, that's your thing. Like MSG.
MSG.
Why do you like MSG so much?
It's delicious.
I don't even know if it has a flavor. Does it?
Yeah, it's an incredible flavor. You gotta get some. Keep in your house. It's good on everything.
What does it taste like?
It tastes
like hot dog.
Tastes like Doritos. That's what it tastes like to me.
It's like umami. It's got a ton of flavor to it.
Why does the world hate MSG?
So that was
MSG is the Hitler of food.
Yeah. It was honestly a lot of just like anti-Asian propaganda back in the day.
Like the cats?
Because the same thing, because Asians use a lot of MSG in their cooking. And it's just at the end of the day, it's like a chemical. It's like anything else. Like you use it moderately, you're fine. It's just, it's like salt. You use too much salt, you're gonna have problems. You use too much MSG, you're gonna have problems. I love it because it just adds an extra layer of flavor to like whatever you're cooking. And I buy it by the pound. That's the only way to do it. Buy it by the pound.
Do they think you're cooking meth? Or
no,
what?
You go to the Asian supermarket or something, that's how they sell it. You get a 1 pound bag.
I have one right around the corner from me in Williamsburg. I'm going over.
Yeah, you gotta go. Go get a little MSG.
That's on the Vulgar chef's recommendation.
Yeah, just taste it a little bit, and you'll see it's the flavor is very strong. You don't need a lot of it. A little goes a long way.
Vulgar chef, Instagram. You actually are a chef?
I'm not.
No,
I'm not. I've never even worked in a kitchen.
Really?
No culinary training.
That's amazing.
Just a passion for food.
Do you work or are you an influencer?
I hate that
influencer, social media creator, content creator.
I prefer create. I don't think I'm influencing anyone to do anything.
No,
I'm not pitching products.
You're entertaining.
There's an entertainment value to it, and I like to create. I like to create that entertainment.
Is that what you're doing every day?
That's what I'm doing every day. This is recent too. This is a recent transition.
Yeah.
Because I was doing social media marketing, graphics for a restaurant group in Connecticut, and then it just got to that point, like with any business where you're just like, I have to jump in and try this.
This is our problem, right? Like as soon as someone gets halfway decent at this shit, they'll ditch you.
Yeah.
Like we're really worried about Chris learning how to make a show. It's like I'll be fucked.
Yeah. Good. Well, then you have people.
I'll be rocking with my 450 followers, subscribers on YouTube, and like Chris will be like making real money.
Dude, it's tough. It's a grind. Like you have to be like in it to win it. You have to be completely 100% like confident that you can do it, and you just have to like commit. And like with any business that someone starts, like this, you have to put your time and your effort into this. Like you have no other choice. Like this is it. You want to make money. You gotta be into
show up
it.
on time.
Yeah, you should show up on it's like I have to keep a schedule for myself.
Right.
I have to know what I'm doing. I can't just wake up every day and be like, oh, what should we do today? Should I do a video or do this? Or it's like, no, we're getting up, we're doing this, we're gonna do this, we're gonna work on merch. It's just you have to like any business.
Did you always want to be an entertainer? Do you have a name? Like an actual name.
Yeah, Kyle.
Kyle
Marku.
Marku.
Marku, that's
I
my
knew
name.
the name. I was just
Yeah.
gonna let you say it.
Yeah, I
Vulgar chef.
think I've always had like a desire to be, and I hate saying it like that, like to be in the spotlight. Even before, the Vulgar Chef thing, I was in a band and we, did the whole
What kind of music?
heavy metal. Within the Ruins is the name of the band.
Which instrument?
Guitar. So there was always
So
that.
this is what it is, man. If he was a drummer, he still would not be on camera.
Yeah. I'd be hiding behind the curtain over there.
He met some girls playing guitar, then he couldn't play guitar anymore, and he had to find the attention.
Yeah.
Did I get it halfway right?
I mean that's kind of it, I guess. Yeah, it was just So I had that whole experience of like being the band, being on tour, playing in front of crowds, and it was like. And it just comes down to like the entertainment thing again, entertaining people and bringing people joy in that manner. So it was
Which
like,
one do you feel like cooler doing? Like, is it not like more fulfilled, but like cooler?
Yeah, like cool. Like
I
I'm
mean,
a badass.
Personally, I like this because it's the Vulgar Chef has been, for the most part, completely built by myself.
Is it a character or is it you? Is Kyle and the chef the same person?
I think they're very close with the Vulgar Chef, obviously, because it needs to be entertaining and we need to grab people and create that sort of family that I've been fortunate enough to create. So I think Vulgar Chef is it's just dialed up. We turn the dial up a little bit.
So the social media work is cooler than playing guitar in the band.
Yeah, it's a toss up because I mean, for anyone who's never been in a band and been on tour and like playing shows in front of, hundreds and hundreds of people, like it's an exciting feeling. And it's almost the same as like releasing content and seeing the reaction you're getting from this audience. It's just like, you're looking for that dopamine fix. And I think they're both pretty similar. And I love, I cherish what I had with the band. It's just, it's a different beast now.
That's how we got here. So
yeah.
I mean, Steph sends me tons of stuff, and he sends me stuff, and like 9 out of 10, I'm like, nah, not my thing. And then they send me the Vulgar Chef, and I'm like, yeah, how do we talk to that guy?
Yeah, I appreciate it. You just DM me. That's
it.
Well,
then he didn't answer the email, so then we saw the Russell's T-shirt, and we were like, calling Teddy.
Yeah,
Teddy will figure it out,
and he did.
And that's how it goes. Teddy Russell, dude. Have you had their hot dogs?
I have not.
Oh.
Have you been to New Britain for the Capitol lunch, dude?
No. I was in hard in New Britain for a little while, dude. I was Central first year.
Right. Like, how did you miss that whole thing?
How do you miss Capitol
I was trying
lunch?
to get the fuck out of there. That's
the
honest answer.
That's the hot dog capital of Connecticut.
Yeah.
Now.
Dude, Little Poland?
Little Poland.
Why are you trying to run?
Sahadi's Hotties is over there. Riley's.
I don't know about any of that. I just know.
Dude.
So the Nazis wanted to blow New Britain up.
Really?
High priority on Hitler's
recently,
list. Right? No, the Nazis,
Okay.
like Hitler, World War II.
Okay.
New Britain was one of the premier targets. You know why?
No.
No.
You guys don't know history.
We're not Nazis, man.
You need history. You need history. Ball bearing plant used to be the number one production for ball bearings in like America.
That
was
seems
at
New
a
Britain.
hard hit in New Britain.
That seems New Britain.
And that factory, if you blew that factory up, you couldn't make a tank, a plane, anything.
Wow.
And so that was the target. And the Russells built this little meat empire since 1928.
The kingdom. That's what I call it. It's the kingdom.
Dude, they make hot dogs every day.
Yeah.
It blows me away.
You gotta watch. You gotta see the process.
I went
on
the weenie tour. We went to Russell's and they walked us through, and we had a camera guy that sort of didn't live up to the hype, and so most of the audio from that is useless.
Yeah,
so
it's loud in there.
Well, yeah, they were sort of done, so we got the tour. It was all clean.
Yeah, you got to go early.
Yeah, that was what they said. Did you see like the giant bin of meat?
I saw everything. I went so early. I was there for like probably 6 or 7 hours. I stayed the day. I worked the shift. I was there.
So you were in a band. You move into social media for a career, I assume, to make a living. this is a show about like how you do this. How do you do this? And so you said, finally, this is it. When did you start building the Vulgar Chef?
It was in 2013, and it was just like it started as a food blog because this was like when Instagram was like in its infancy. So just a food blog. I just wanted to talk trash about like health food trends. I can't write. My grammar's terrible. So just like, let's start a blog. We'll call it the Vulgar Chef, and I'll just bash like celebrity chefs, and it'll just be like a fun little thing for me to do. And then, Instagram was there. It's like, oh, let's post some. And as ironically enough, it was pictures of like just weird hot dogs that I was making on Instagram. And they started getting picked up by like other media brands on Instagram. And it just like,
Are you in the subreddits at all?
No, dude.
Dude, there's like an onion haters subreddit and an onion lovers subreddit.
Really?
Which one would you guys each be in?
I would be in the lovers, but like you got to go to both.
Who
I got a
hates
buddy.
onions?
I don't even know what Reddit karma is or does.
Yeah.
But I got a buddy with all of it.
Yeah.
He just posted those two things, and he's like, dude, your podcast sucks. I'm like, why? He's like, I post a picture of some hot dogs with some onions all over it, and I get 74,000 views.
Yeah. Reddit's, I don't.
It's a creepy world.
I don't do a lot on Reddit. Like once a year, I'll hop on there for like a week, and I'll be like, I'll just start posting like random things that I've made over the past year, and then like I'm done.
Done. Yeah, it's a good place for cults, I think.
Yeah. I know a lot of my content makes its way over there.
How does it get there?
I don't know.
Okay.
People.
Magic.
Yeah. People taking it, posting it.
But do you know
over there.
who's following you? Do you know who your biggest fans are?
On like Instagram?
Yeah.
I mean,
like
I've got some, like to name a few, not to name any names here, but like Adam Richman, Man vs. Food.
Mm-hmm.
We got Action Bronson following along.
Dude, you're name dropping.
Yeah, I am name dropping.
I have like 17 followers.
I've spoken
so
to
like,
Adam personally, and I kind of know Adam. Action Bronson, I do not know. I just know he follows and he's looking. So there's something there, and hopefully one day we can make something happen. That's top of the chart.
your
Ashton
shot,
sat at
man.
that table where you're sitting right now. He was cool.
He sat right here.
And he was like about this tall.
Everyone says he doesn't look short on camera.
Bro, he's pretty short.
You can make angles work for people.
He's like a square.
Yeah.
He's like a square because he's huge and he's jacked
He's
as
a
hell
big
now.
dude.
But
Was
like,
he nice?
Oh yeah, he was cool as hell. He was
Really?
cool. He was so cool.
That's nice to
There you
hear.
go, dude. You
That's
shoot
nice
your
to hear.
shot. What do you want to do with him?
Anything, dude.
No, see, you
some
can't do that. You got
you
you got to tell him what you.
Yeah,
He's a
bring him
man of
something good,
specificity.
man.
I mean, we gotta cook. I'd love to do a pop. Like I love doing pop-ups. I'd love to do a pop-up with Action, just in the streets.
Pop up what?
Pop up. Just do some dogs or something. Get crazy with dogs in the middle of summer on the streets of Brooklyn or something.
What street? This is getting
know,
interesting.
dude.
We're gonna have a block party, dude.
That's one thing about
Let's
him.
throw
He
a
gets
block
so
party.
specific about stuff.
Oh,
like I
damn.
feel like the more specific you make this,
I don't
This
know.
is like a dream collab for you, and he's
I think
following
so.
you. That's cool.
Yeah. I don't know how that happened, but I'll take it. I'll take the follow for now. But yeah,
Well,
pop up. Action Bronson, Vulgar Chef, crazy hot dogs,
Brooklyn, sweaty.
hot, dead of summer. Bleecker Street? I don't know. I'm not familiar with
Let's
Brooklyn.
go Brooklyn. Stay out of Manhattan.
Okay.
Too many homeless.
Yeah.
I can
Somewhere
do-
in Williamsburg.
I can see. Yeah, you can do that. Makes it easy for me to get there, but maybe we go to Greenpoint with Polish dogs.
Yeah, maybe it's a full weekend. Maybe it's Greenpoint. Maybe it's Williamsburg.
That's the kickoff of the next week.
Maybe we go to Coney Island and get wild. We're cooking dogs on the Ferris wheel. I don't know.
Do you like those Nathan's hot dogs?
Not really.
Yeah.
Not
Nobody
a big fan.
does.
Not a big fan. I mean, I love what they've kind of built in the hot dog world, but
Yeah, they built a great business.
Yeah,
a
I'm
great
just-
viewership. The eating competition itself is great, but it's
Yeah.
not an exciting dog.
no, I went down to the eating competition and I couldn't see it, so I was bummed. And there was too many people. I left.
Yeah, exactly. You can't.
I was
Better
like,
watch on TV.
There's no screen. I can't
just an
watch a
adult
screen
now.
or something.
you're just an
I
adult
understand
now.
there's a lot of people, but like, give us a screen.
You get no screen. You're an adult now. Go home. Watch.
Yeah,
on TV.
that's what it was. I was like,
That's
all right, I'm going home.
Looking at it, you're writing the blog. You're starting to pick up some followers on Instagram. When did you think the Vulgar Chef was a thing? Like, when did it become like, oh, Kyle, I got something?
I don't. It was honestly, it's probably more recently. Where it was just like, I started to, I guess, grow apart from the job that I was doing in social media. I know there's a lot of overlap there when you're doing social media for another company and you have your own social media that's doing, you know, much better than the job that's paying you. Dude. So it's just like, as some,
That ever happened to you?
Not like this, not like Vulgar Chef, bro. But I get the concept of what you're saying. It's yeah. How much of it is just like this logistically doesn't make sense anymore? Like for me to have this job when my own thing is going so well, and how much of it is just like, man, fuck this place. Like I could do this.
Honestly, it was probably more logistically because I'm torn creatively between doing these two separate social media accounts that are both in the food space, and one like I can't really be the Vulgar Chef on. We can get away with some things, and then there's my brand where it's like I can do whatever the hell I want over here.
Is that one more fun? Like, is it more fun, or is it just different types of fun?
It's different because you're doing it for business. So at the same, like you want to get people's eyes on it, and you want to get people to come to the restaurant and enjoy the food. But also, it's like that's all you have control over is the social media. Like I can't control
the food.
If someone comes in and he goes, I had a bad meal, and they're messaging me. It's like, I don't know what to tell you. I have nothing to do with the cooking. I'm just the guy posting the videos.
And then
pictures.
as the Vulgar Chef, it gets tricky because
I have people, reaching out to me personally. Like I went to the restaurant and had a bad meal. It's like, dude, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's a restaurant. Things happen, dude.
Yeah.
The authenticity in the Vulgar Chef is what's coming forward, though. That's what's attracting people.
Yeah.
Because, like, you're getting the people that can watch a guy eat communion wafers on the subway, right? Like, you can't do that with a brand that belongs to someone else.
No, I can't.
And so, like, very clear, authentic voice, consistent.
Yeah.
There's an audience. The size of the audience is you don't know it beforehand, but like if you're authentic and you're consistent, you're gonna have something.
Yeah, that's it. You have to be authentic. You have to be different. You have to stand out, and especially in the food space, you have to stand out. I mean, there's a million food content creators out there. A lot of them, they're all doing the same thing. So it's like you have to be authentic, and you have to be a little bit different to stand out in that crowd.
And so it took you to, almost 10 years when did you kill the food blog?
Probably after like transferring the website a couple different times, where it was just like I lost posts and I lost like content on there. I was like, I can't like.
Do you take the audience with you? Do you think it's like?
I think there was probably I took some of the audience probably. I think there was a different audience, just like with any platform. Your audience, like I don't see a lot of overlap from like my Instagram audience to my TikTok audience to my Facebook audience. They're all kind of different audiences, and you have to serve them in different ways.
How big are you on Facebook? I don't go on the blue app.
Facebook's actually my biggest audience. It's around 600,000.
It makes sense if you think about it from you built a food blog at a time before Instagram was big, so you're going to be building up your first users on that and growing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know how to log into Facebook anymore.
Yeah. Facebook I still treat it as, one of my core almost. It's pretty much Facebook and Instagram where, that is where my community is.
Yeah.
Which is a big part of like being in the social space. It's like, yeah, you can get on there and post stuff, but if you're not like engaging and interacting with the people that are there to support you, like they're going to hang out and they're going to leave.
Is that what, if you actually describe your job out, would you say that's what it is? Is like sort of this three-ring circus of community, right?
Yeah.
Like it's kind of a neat, you run a community.
Yeah. I mean, I like to think that we all kind of run it because everyone, like I take the people's input that are commenting on the videos and DMing me, and it's like suggesting things. So it's like, it's a community effort with the brand. I've always looked at it like that. I'm the puppet in front of the camera, but it's like we're all making this thing work.
When did you start taking their advice? Or their inspiration, I guess, is a better way.
I guess if it comes in and it's good. There's a lot of terrible advice. It's probably 99% terrible advice, but I hear it out and we, we'll shoot a couple DMs back and forth. But yeah, a lot of it isn't great. But then there's, that 1% shines through and it's like, you might be onto something. Let's see if we can make this. Let's see if we can make this work.
If you were teaching a group of kids about this process, how would you encourage them to look at developing content?
So I guess with develop it, like I said,
like the specific piece of content, not most people talk about the entirety of what they're doing.
Right.
But like one of the things that stands out from what you do is like you develop start end content.
Yes.
Really well.
Yeah.
And so like if you were talking to a kid, what would you say?
I mean, so when you're creating the content, you want to give people something that they're familiar with every time that you sort of post. Like before the video or your voice even comes on the video, they already know it's you just based on how you set up the camera, what the whole scenario starts with. And I think that's where a lot of people have a tough time is they try so many different things all at once and they're doing all these different things and there's no real consistency with it. And so people are just like, oh, they're just kind of doing whatever. So you have to it's like a TV show. You watch a TV show, you know what to expect through the whole thing. You're familiar with it. Imagine watching a TV show where every episode they're changing up so completely. Like it's a different show now. What's going on here?
Right.
And I see a lot of that when I do, because every now and then I'll throw in like
a test.
Yeah, I'll throw in a piece of content that's a little more normal. I'm cooking something kind of normal. There's still a level of creativity there, but I'm not deep frying mayonnaise or doing something wacky like that. It's like, oh, we're gonna make something kind of. This is just a burger that's a little elevated or something, And right out of the gate, you get people in the comments going, "This isn't vulgar. This isn't vulgar. Where's the mayonnaise? Where's this? Where's that?" And it's the content itself. It still usually does pretty well, but it's a lot of the audience is there. They want to see that like shock value content.
So is it the vulgarity part that remains true across your pieces?
I think so, because whether like the vulgar piece can be the recipe itself, or if it's not the recipe, I try to spin and go, okay, we're going to lay an audio track over this video. And that's where the vulgar is going to kind of set in, which, with the way social media is now, I can't get away with what I used to be able to get away with saying like on video without things getting flagged and like, unfortunately. So like a lot of the vulgar was.
Well, maybe now moving forward, you can say what you want on social media.
And who knows? We'll see what happens. But yeah, in the beginning, a lot of the vulgarity was like the captions and the audio that I was putting over the videos I was doing in the beginning. It was more normal type recipes. It wasn't these, it wasn't eating communion wafers and eating nachos out of a toilet and doing things like this.
The toilet nachos is where that was where the line was. We were sitting on the couch and I'm researching this and I hear, "Can you just get off whatever page that is?" And I was like, yeah.
That was a good one.
I was like, yeah, that was gross.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the point.
Yeah.
In conversation with Dude Foods,
Point
like
taken.
we have to make this shocking, dude. This is a partnership collab. Like we need people to see this. This is a business move right here.
Right.
Like I'm doing business with Dude Foods. We have to make this do well.
And usually I'm like, hey, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, we got to make this go away.
Yeah.
I was like, I totally agree with you. Nah, but almost everything else, I'm like, really, this is fun.
Yeah.
Like you're having fun, right?
Yeah. The whole thing's like I always tell people if I wasn't having fun, I wouldn't be doing this anymore. Like that's a big part.
Do you think you're ever going to be able to like top like toilet nachos though? Like that seems.
Dude, I'll be honest. I question myself because when I put something out like and it does very, very well, like more so than like the other content, I'm always like, how am I going to do this? And then it happens again. And then it happens again. And it's like, Or just let's
Well, you're
keep the
So his
starting-
answer was no. I'm
No,
a
I
fucking
can't-
beast.
Yeah.
That was the answer.
yeah. I'm trying to be humble, but just
This is
the
not
way
the
my-
place for humility.
No, we call him Hollywood Noble. He's
Yeah,
got 330
I mean,
subscribers.
I've been
We-
fortunate. I've been fortunate enough. I don't know what
Are you
goes
good,
on up here.
or are you good, or are you just you and there's an audience for you? Are you good at it?
I think I'm good at what I do for
When did
for
you
the
get
brand.
good?
Probably in the last 3 years.
How long did you have to work at it?
It was a good 3 years. We knew 10 years. I can't do
I can
math
do the
that well,
math.
but
I
I'm
can
saying
do the
that's
math. I
that's
know
a good
the answer.
that's
I
7
could-
years of grinding pretty
Yeah.
hard, and the grind is still.
You still got a ways to go.
I still have a massive ways to go, in my opinion.
What do you think your upside is? Like when you're sitting there and you quit social media for other folks, you say, all right, I'm going to build my own content. I'm going to build my own entertainment company.
Yeah.
Or are you building is it a merch company you're building? Because like your merch is also banging. Like,
Yeah.
So it's like the butter. Did you see the Butterfinger one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All
Top
right.
seller right there. So it's funny because with the merch, that goes back to being in the band. And when we were in the band, I was always like, dude, we got to do merch that's going to grab sort of anyone's attention. You don't even have to be a fan of the band to want to get that shirt. So even
that's a good shirt. I hate stuff that's just for the fan, like the mega fan of the band or the podcast
Right.
or whatever it is. Like your stuff is just like, oh, any of my idiot friends could wear this, and I'll see them and not know where it's from, and I'll be like,
yeah, like I don't even slap my logo on like
Yeah.
a lot of these shirts, and I do have like the brand shirts where it's like the Vulgar Chef logo, where it's something very Vulgar Chef.
That's advertising. That's not merch.
Yeah, that's just general advertising.
But it's also something for everybody. Like some people just want to they really want to rock the brand. They're proud of being a fan.
And I get
of
people
yours.
they ask all the time, can we get a hoodie that just has your logo on the front? And I'm just like, well, yeah, I would.
Yeah,
wear
buy
it. I
50
wouldn't
of
wear
them.
that, and it's my brand.
Yeah.
Buy 50 of them.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
You
do
can
a bulk order.
At 50, you can get whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, right.
I got the same thing on that hat, right? And I'm like, hat's $6 per times 50. He gives them we sell them.
Yeah.
We're even immediately. And then like someone's like, hey, put that on a crew neck. I'm like, I'm doing the math in my head. I'm like, I can't sell more than 2 crew necks.
Right.
So I'm going to have to wear 48 crew necks. That's going to last me for 7 years.
Right.
No.
And then
No,
you
we're
start
not doing crew
You
necks.
start sitting on these things, and then you're taking an L because you're just like, I'm just gonna give these things away.
And then you
know?
resent this thing that you created and spent time on. And you
Yeah.
just
Kind of like roast me.
Yeah, I made a card game, which is what he's talking about. And not only do I have the games that didn't sell, I also have the merch for it that didn't. And it's all great, and I love it all, and it will sell at some point.
Yeah.
But until
Yeah.
then, I'm looking at it like, fuck, why did
What
I
was
do
I
that?
thinking? Yeah,
If he would just bring like 10 back games of it, I'll
Yeah.
put it on the site and tell people buy danbrand.com, go get roast me.
Yeah.
And like you'll sell 2. 2 equals $40 more than he has, and he got rid of
Yeah.
having a whole 10 of them.
It's tough when you have a product like that. It's like that the merch itself, even with me, is like that's a grind in itself. It's like, okay, we have the content and everything that helps promote the merch, but outside of that, it's like I still have to do my part to like promote the merch. I have to bring it to pop-ups. I have to make sure I'm spending advertising dollars with Facebook to advertise the merch store. So that's that in itself it's kind of its own
It's a lot of work, yeah.
It's a lot of work, especially when you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
So I got a guy for you if you want a guy.
What's he do? What's this guy do?
He knows that shit, dude. The guy that did this. He does it all. He runs Find the Good brand.
Yeah.
It's like a mental health like brand. Sells sweatshirts, dude.
Yeah.
T-shirts, hats. We built out a brand lab at UConn. He's one of the collaborators there. He started as a student. He's up to 7-figure business. And like that's one of the pieces. Like we want to bring that stuff to people like yourself because it is a grind.
Yeah.
And like he's got a whole thing. But your merch is great. So you're involved in the creative of your own merch, right? And that's the piece where like it really hits with the brand.
Yeah.
It's vulgar.
Yeah.
I wear your shirt. I know I'm going to face a few.
Yeah. That's what I think that's what I love the most about the merch is when I'm like, especially with like the Butterfinger one,
Yeah.
or I have the Will Fuck for hot dogs. Like those are two of my top sellers.
That's what I'm getting.
And it's like, I love the fact that people are buying these and they're probably wearing them out in public. And then
they are.
And then
Oh,
they
they
message
are.
me and go, dude, I was wearing your shirt at a concert. So like people just kept laughing and asking about
Have you
it.
seen it in the wild?
I've seen a few in the wild.
Outside of where you live, or like,
Yeah.
Eh,
Very rarely though.
it's exciting.
But it's so exciting when you see like that. It's like my favorite's like the ketchup shirt. It looks like the Pornhub
Yeah,
logo.
yeah.
Like when I see that one out somewhere, I'm like,
I didn't like
because everyone knows what that logo is.
Yeah, but I didn't like that one. That's the one I'm like, It's like I've seen that one done 5 other times. The Butterfinger one?
Yeah,
The Buttfinger one?
yeah.
I keep saying it
That's
wrong.
a good one. That's the top dog.
I've
right
never
there.
even like when I saw it, I'm like, he's running around in a Butterfinger shirt. What's he doing? And then I'm like, oh man, that's fucking good.
Yeah. Because you got to do a double take at it when you first see
2,
a
3,
Butterfinger
4
shirt, and you're
times.
like,
Yeah,
wait a
you're
minute.
like,
What?
what? Yeah.
Buttfingerer.
And that's why it hits, I think.
Yeah.
And that's why people want to wear it outside, because it's like because like everybody looks at them and they go,
At first glance, it just looks like a Butterfinger.
Yeah, and you get 3
And
looks.
you're like,
I really appreciate dumb smart.
yeah,
Like dumb smart humor is great.
that's all I know how to do.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, dumb smart.
You got nothing deeper than that?
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't think so.
And so you sit around. So I want the kids. We're making the kids watch this one, but like, I want them to know you sit around and come up with dumb, smart things to do on camera.
Yeah,
Then you go do it, and it's a lot of work,
yeah.
and it's
I
hard.
wouldn't even say it's a lot of work. So it's a lot of thought. It's a lot of thought that goes into it, because the content at this point for me, like doing the content, as long as it's not like a recipe that involves a lot of steps and I have to wait for things, like some of the content, some of my best performing content has been like, oh, I shot this in 10 minutes, edited it in 5 and posted it.
What's your favorite one of all time?
Probably the Glizburger.
The smashed one?
Yeah. The one with the burger in between the hot dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like that.
You can actually eat that though.
You can actually eat that, and it's not like it's not a vulgar recipe. It looks horrendous.
Now, is that the vulgarity to it?
I think so. The vulgarity is just that it looks horrendous, and there's that strange level of creativity where it's like, why, like how has this not been done before? How did no one split a hot dog down the middle and just put a little burger meat in there? It's like most people would default to is like, oh, make a burger, put hot dogs on top of it.
Well, if you went to the wienery, you could definitely get that. They just didn't think to call it that. They didn't think to brand it.
Where's the wiener? Stanford
Wienery. Yeah. That's my go-to order.
That's your go-to over there?
Mm-hmm. I like I like when you did the smash, the wiener into like a smash burger.
Yeah.
That was the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
That was my favorite.
No,
and I was like, holy shit, that's genius. He
Yeah.
shredded a hot dog.
Just made a smash burger.
Like, and so if I brought this to my mother or any of my students did that, they would go, that's not a job.
Yeah.
But you're really just democratized entertainment, comedy, TV, smash it together,
Yeah.
put it out in short bites.
Yeah. I mean, I look at it kind of like it's almost stand-up comedy, but I'm in control and I'm using food instead of a microphone and being on stage.
Have you done any stand-up?
No.
Would you?
Maybe.
Yeah. It would be challenging, I would think.
Yeah. My nerves will be. I
Through
don't
the
like
roof.
I don't like being I like being on the camera and being in control that way. But like being on a stage like that kind of.
You
But you
lose.
have the performance element a little bit.
Yeah,
with the guitar
yeah.
and
I would
Yeah, you're either going to love it like cocaine or hate it.
well, that's a thing too. Like I'm almost, because I've thought about it before because part of the content is like, this is comedy. We're making jokes. It's like, what would happen if I went out and tried to do this on stage? Would I just, my worry would be like, okay, this is what I'm doing now.
Let's do
And
it.
then
Let's do
forget
it.
the vulgar chef. This is what we're doing. We're going to grind on this. And I got a good friend who does comedy. And
I don't think you could grind. I wonder though, like I don't think you can just walk away from Vulgar Chef.
I don't think
it's a real
so either.
brand.
I don't think so either.
But like, why grind? Why not get better? Like, don't you like the way I would look at it as a professor, as a guy that thinks about these things all the time? I'd be like, I'd want to put you as talent on the stage so you could see what happens and learn.
Yeah.
And then bring you back to your content where your home media is, where you're most comfortable.
Yeah.
And then let you go back and forth and learn. Because, like, there has to be something to me. And that was why we did the Worldwide Weenie Tour and got out of here. Is like, there's something about, like, telling someone what you're doing. Like, we sit here and it's me, you, Chris, and, like, it'll come out and it goes on YouTube and it goes on Spotify and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, there's something when they're telling you back to your face if you're good.
Yeah. I do. I mean, I get a little bit like when I do my pop-ups and stuff. Like I get a little like, you know, I'm the guy in the room. So
how much do you feed off of that?
I mean, it's tough to say. It depends a lot on the pop-up itself too, and how engaged people are.
Yeah.
A lot of people, you know, surprisingly will come out to the pop-ups and they like I'm just an idiot. Like people like to just keep to themselves at their tables and they don't like, they feel like I'm like this like massive person. It's just like, no, I'm an idiot and I'm here and somehow we're all eating food together. So I do get like, I get that with like the pop-ups and stuff, which is nice, but I'm also very like, I like to keep to myself, you know, if I could sort of hide in the kitchen at the pop-ups, like
are you an introvert?
Yeah.
The great content creators are introverted.
Yeah. I like to keep to myself, you know, keep everything to myself, kind of work alone.
I think the great comedians are introverted as well.
Yeah.
I guess stand up.
I guess I also feel too like there's, you know, especially at the pop-ups, like there's maybe it's just me thinking like people are going to expect a lot more out of me than I'm not going to be able to deliver, you know.
What does your family think?
I mean, they're supportive.
Were they always, or did it like have to take?
Yeah, when you at first, like,
I don't think there was ever a time where they were like, oh, what's he doing?
Yeah.
What is he doing? They were more like that, like especially my mother, like when I was like, hey, we just bought a van and I'm quitting my job and we're going on tour with the band and we're gonna go around the country and we're gonna play shows. And that's what she's like, what? Like I think that probably for her was more like, what's he doing? What is he doing with his life?
Drugs.
And it worked out.
Drugs. Drugs. He's doing drugs.
You know?
Sex, drugs, rock and roll. It's a pretty...
Yeah.
Like the recipe hasn't changed since the beginning of time.
No. It's 24/7 like party and it feels lawless and it's just like... It's crazy, and you're just a show every night, party every night, show every night, party every night.
Could you get great? It is, to me, it's so hard to like you. How could you be great at the music if that's the lifestyle?
It's tough. Like that's where the point I got to where I was like, man, this is exhausting. The money's not good, and like in the music industry, you have to be like. You want to make good money, you have to be on the road constantly and you have to be, you know, really like packing these shows out and you have to be selling merch because you're not making shit with album sales and streaming anything like this. So you have to constantly be on the road. And it's tough, especially when you're just like, you know, touring in an old Chevy van, pulling a trailer with 5-6 people in that van for weeks and weeks and weeks at a time. It's just, it's very taxing.
Are you following any of the music creators that are out there building large-scale audiences on TikTok or Instagram?
I mean, not really. I'm just like so stuck in my old ways with music. I just listen to like what I grew up on. Very rarely will I get into like a new band.
Yeah, so I've been interested in following like how people are using social media to build up an audience before they ever tour, before they ever release an album. There's been a couple of people that have gotten quite big in that process. I also have a student looking at like what makes songs viral.
Yeah.
And it's super interesting.
Yeah. I mean, there's a formula to it all. And it's just, it really comes down to like just hooking people and getting them.
Mathematics.
Yeah, you got to get these people in like that first second to stop and give you another few seconds to then keep them there. So it's just, yeah, it's mathematics. It's an equation.
You haven't been like scrolling TikTok or anything like that and then heard something like even like 2 or 3 seconds of a song and you're like, oh, that's dope. And then looked at their page and like seen kind of the approach that he's talking about though. Like I would think as a creator, like you'd be interested, even if you're not like super interested in the artist, like interested in the mechanics of it. That's never like popped up on your feed or anything?
I mean, probably. It's just I don't like for all the content I put on social media, I don't spend a lot of time like scrolling social media and like looking at, other accounts other than the ones that I've been, following for years and years and years.
Do you think that makes you stand out because you're not, susceptible to like, oh, people are doing this for the hook or whatever?
Well, yeah, like I see through a lot of it. Like, when you've been in social media this long, you see and you know what people are doing when they're creating they're creating their content. You're like, is there something authentic here, or do they just know how to target and grab an audience? And then there's a lot of people that are really good at that. They're really good at like building a massive audience just because, just with their content format.
I've tried to tell people that work with me that the format is almost more important than the subject matter.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you can have like trash content or a trash concept, but if you got the format down to where people like have to stay and watch that video and like have to follow along to see what you're going to do next, I mean, that's it right there.
So going back to teaching those kids, is that where you would talk to them about experimenting? Is experiment on the format?
Yeah. Find a good format that people are going to engage with, with me, I don't care if it's positive or negative. I'd rather have, like, I've always shot for the negative. Like, let's get negative feedback on this because there's going to be a bigger return.
I love it.
There's going to be a bigger return.
I dream
on that.
for someday that someone cares enough to be that negative.
Yeah, yeah.
But there is, and there are some people that just can't tolerate it.
Yeah.
How do you know it's a good format for the creator? Like, it's kind of neat because you've worked in the industry, so you're bringing not just like, hey, I put this on TikTok and people like me.
Yeah.
So how would you think about this is a good format?
You really have to do your research, I think. You have to look at like what else is out there in terms of the content you're going to create. You have to look at what else is out there, how people are doing it, what you think is working for them, what you don't think is working for them, and you kind of have to spin that and do it your own way. I've been fortunate enough to just be like, I'm just going to do this how I want to do it and not do it like everybody else. I'm going to make this shocking food content, and that's going to be my thing. But yeah, it's just, you have to, as I said to you earlier, I couldn't even imagine starting right now, like opening up a TikTok or an Instagram account and being like, okay, I'm going to start something new here and we're going to make it work. Like, I don't even know, where
how
I would
you
go.
Would do it.
But it would come down to like, okay, first thing is the format. Like, how are we going to set this content up so people are going to want to watch it?
Interesting. I think that's actually a good point. We got a video so we started asking students to go through the social media they guess and send us videos of their questions. So let's see. She sent so many questions.
Yeah, hopefully this is the right one because I was asking you to send me like the video. But
okay. But we don't know, but this is the one. So let's see what we got. Yeah.
Hi, Vulgar Chef. Just watched your CCGC candy corn grilled cheese video and was curious to know if you've had COVID recently, if you battle agousia, or if you have hypogeusia.
I don't even know what that is.
So, yeah.
She was really getting all the camera time possible there.
Yeah, she was drawing it out.
Yeah. Oh my God. All right.
So those are
she would be a good
disorders where you
storyteller.
can't smell or taste.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's talk format on that.
Yeah.
So let's talk. I mean, that's good. Like you said,
There
she
was some
kind of
real-time
she was
feedback.
kind of
Format
dragging
down.
it out. So like you have to stay there. That's you see that a lot on TikTok with these storytellers where it's like part 1. It's like, okay, well, what's if they're a good storyteller, they're gonna keep you there for that whole video, and then you got to know what happens next. So you're coming back for part 2. I get hooked into some of those story time TikToks where it's like a story that about their personal life that I could care less about, but it's like they have a way of making it interesting and keeping you there and wanting to find out what's going to happen next. So it's like that's another big kind of format, and especially in TikTok is like the storytelling and just keeping people coming back and wanting to know what's happening.
It's not easy.
It's not easy. I couldn't do it. I couldn't tell a story for shit.
So, because you're just doing dumb humor.
That's right.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
This is why I'm saying I think if you tried stand up, and even if you started to learn, even not to succeed, but just started to learn,
Right.
I think
It's going to shine more in my content.
Yeah, that's what I think. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna learn little tricks that
I'm
want.
going to be at an open mic in 3 hours.
Dude, let's
Just up there.
Let's do it.
I have no material. Just
Yeah.
give me a mic and we're going to see what's going to come out. And I'm going to
What
bomb
comes
so
out-
hard, but it's going to be a great learning experience.
So-
we could make one in 10 minutes.
Yeah,
we could wrap
yeah.
this right now. I literally know a 4 p.m. Our next guest is going to be coming from a 4 p.m.
Oh
open
my
mic.
God.
So if you'd like to put your mustard where your mouth is,
Oh my
dude.
God.
Mustard where your mouth, but taste disorder. That's it. Like how you eating candy corn? How you eating candy corn hamburger? Like, come on.
Yeah. I don't
That's
know.
what she's saying.
Yeah. it doesn't bother me.
She's smarter than us. We
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
with all the stuff that I've eaten, it's just like like taste doesn't really bother me as much as like mouthfeel now. Like I'm at the point now where there's a lot of things that I used to do a lot with Jello and gelatin, and now I'm at
The
the
rain sandwich.
The rain sandwich was
Oh,
tough, and
shit.
when you think about it, it's like okay, it's just water between bread, but it's
Put a lot of
gelatinous.
MSG in there, didn't you?
I don't think that was
Just the
natural,
Jell-O?
just
Yeah.
the
What is
flavor.
a rain sandwich? I didn't see the
Dude,
rain
you
sandwich.
just
bro.
ain't living. You ain't living the vulgar chef, dude. He collected rainwater outside, and then he put gelatin and made these slim little things and put it on a P2 that ate it, dude. It was like Jello with no flavor,
Yeah.
just from rainwater.
Where does that come from? Like, where do you?
Like, I mean, that's a good example of one where this was last summer, I believe, where it was just raining. It was raining every weekend down here. It
Yeah,
was
I remember
pouring.
that. Yeah, it was awful.
And I was just sitting on the couch and I'm like, we can't go anywhere. And just in my head, like something was just like rainwater sandwich. And I'm like,
There's
just
a
like,
person talking.
this is so easy. And all I need is bread and gelatin, which I have here. It's like I can knock this out in 4 hours. And the 4 hours just waiting for the Jell-O to set up. And I jumped on it, and it just is perfect because I don't think it would do as well anywhere else in the country, at least.
Then New York.
Than New York, and it being New York rainwater, maybe like Los Angeles or something.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's like this is New York
It's
rainwater.
gritty.
Yeah.
I have a car in the city, and so I park it, and I get it back the next day, and it's covered in something.
Yeah.
That lives in the air here.
Yeah.
Which when it rains, that comes down.
Yeah.
And you were eating it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
that was a good piece.
yeah.
Do you
it
like
just,
see through walls and stuff afterwards, or do you get any special powers?
No, just a lot of toilet time, probably.
Just lack of taste.
Yeah,
for-
yeah.
So it's so now you've had too much Jell-O. Is that
Yeah, I mean, if I have a good idea, I'll do it. But like that, like
you're not taking a taste?
I'm
you're not taking a
getting,
flyer.
yeah. I'm over the past like year or two or so, I'm just getting more like the mouthfeel of something is what bothers me. Like I can get over taste. I can just go, oh, okay, this obviously is disgusting and tastes gross.
You've had the cremator.
What's the cremator? Oh no,
You don't know the cremator?
I don't think so.
You said you went to Rutt's Hut. Those are rippers.
The Rippers, yeah.
Then you can get them well done,
Oh,
but then you can get the cremator.
was that just charred to shit?
It's been in there like 7 or 8 hours.
So it's
eat
just a
this,
stick?
dude. So after the weenie tour, I'm gonna eat this. Underscore eat underscore this. Ian.
Was Ian? Yeah, I met Ian a
Ian's
couple
a good
times.
dude.
Yeah.
Ian's a great dude. I always laugh. He's the first one that I believed when he's like, yeah, I kind of ended up in social media. I'm like, I know you did because you wouldn't pick that fucking stupid name otherwise.
Not I'm gonna eat this, by the way. Just the 15 underscores. That are
like nothing says don't follow me. I don't want to be a big account like doing something like that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so I enjoy going with them. And every once in a while, they'll call me up and, oh, how'd you do this? Or what's the, so he's good. So we went over to Rut's Hut and I'm like, you gotta get the cremator. He's like, all right, I'll do it. And he bites in it. It tastes like terrible charcoal.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, this is good. And he tore right through the whole cremator.
Damn.
I think I got it on video.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wow. Cremator, gotta try it, dude.
Okay.
It's vulgar.
I'm not a big fan of a overly charred dog.
It looks like this is not charred. This is cooked all the way through, so there's no moisture.
Nothing.
And it was a dog. It's no longer a dog.
Yeah.
It now looks like a turd that's about that long.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like brown, and it's like
Yeah, very suspicious looking.
very, very vulgar.
Yeah. The cremator. I didn't even know that existed.
No, and like when you order it, they'll try to talk you out of it.
Like, what are you doing? You lose a bet.
So you don't deal with, so it's not the taste, it's the feel.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you just desensitized from having to do crazy stuff?
I think so at this point. It's just like, oh, here we go. This is the name of the game here. This is what we're doing.
Do people get mad at the wafers? The Jesus wafers? Are you trying to be disrespectful to Christ, or are you just trying to be funny?
I'm trying to be.
I can't tell.
I'm not. When I do the because I've done several wafer recipes
things,
now.
yeah.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful to anyone's religious beliefs. It's just that
This is where you clear it up.
The wafer is just. It's such an iconic thing. It's associated with religion, so it's like, yeah, we can have fun with this, and it's going to, ruffle some people's feathers maybe, but most people are just gonna be like, this is kind of insane. And to me, it's just like it's a wafer.
Yeah, it's just you bought it in a store, right?
But yeah, you buy them on Amazon.
Yeah.
I have a huge tub of them at home. I don't know.
Now, what for our guests that don't know, you actually have children, right?
I have 3 children.
Do they go around snacking on wafers?
No. My son, he's the youngest, and like, there's a lot of times where I'll be cooking something, he'll be like, I want to try this, and a lot of times I'm like, no, you don't, dude. I can't, like, as your dad, I can't give you that. I'm not going to put you through this. But there are some things where it's like, it's a little more normal, and he wants to try, and it's like, yeah, sure, try.
Dude, how's he gonna get into the family business if you're not having him eating fucking rain sandwiches?
Yeah. He's been coming up with some little idea. Like the other day, I did a video the other day where he was just like, he told me he wanted to get a chicken. He wanted to kill it.
I saw this. I love it.
Yeah.
The
Get
next
a chicken,
line.
kill it, take the bones out, cover it with chocolate.
Chocolate.
And I'm just like, oh, wow, we're not gonna do all that. So
He's vulgar.
Let's do chicken tender.
That's why I knew you had kids, man. I saw that and I was like, that kid needs a contract. Get that kid a deal right now.
Yeah.
I got to ask you one question. I've been dying to ask this. And it's like, are you afraid to just be Kyle in that world?
In the
Social media,
in the social media
comedy
space. I mean,
does it provide you a personal cover to do those things? Because like, I have to coach kids like on making, like, I don't know how to make content. Like, I'm terrible at it, but I have to coach them. And the one thing I know is if you don't press publish, you don't get there.
yeah.
And like, so what I do is come up with a bunch of ways to help kids have the courage to press publish.
Yeah.
And like some of the stuff is out there and it's like, oh, maybe Vulgar Chef. It's not so much a brand, but it's that permission to do this crazy thing.
Yeah. I think it's a lot of, it's kind of like Eminem and Slim Shady, where Slim Shady was his like, I can do these things. I can say these things because it's sort of this alter ego. And like I said before, like Vulgar Chef it's really a lot of me. It's just we dial it up because we're in the social space and we have to be entertaining. Where, you know, if it's just introverted old me on there, it's just gonna be, you know,
Right.
it's not gonna be entertaining.
So you're not the class clown, but are you throwing the barb from the back?
Yeah.
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 Were you sharing those thoughts when you were a kid, or were you just sitting on them laughing to yourself?
Yeah, when I was younger, like I was the class
You were the
clown.
clown.
You weren't stopping me. Like I was coming for throats. And then at some point that just all stopped and I was just like, I want to keep to myself.
What's your proudest moment as the class clown? Like the one where you're like, man, I nailed that.
I mean, it's probably pretty tough to think of something specifically, but when you get the whole class to go off and then you see like the teacher not having it red in the face, like that was it for me. It was like, all right.
Yeah.
You know? I can't think of anything like specifically because there was a lot of that.
Yeah, I went off today.
You did?
Yeah, Stella got her groove back.
Yeah?
Yeah, I went off. I told someone, I started yelling on the drive-in, and I'm like, that person should either quit their fucking job or get good with me really fucking fast because I'm about to press the button and choke them out.
Yeah.
Like, I now sit between them and their ability to work, and I will choke them the fuck out.
Yeah. Yeah, get to that point sometimes.
And I was like, and I've seen like the number of phone calls I've gotten since then, and I'm like, you cannot stop me. Like, you do not realize the level of fucking how far I'll go to win.
Yeah.
You walked into like the Thunderdome.
Yeah.
And now welcome.
Welcome.
You thought you won.
You just got a little taste.
Can you imagine when this guy gets like 500 subscribers? It's gonna be
500.
terrible.
It's gonna be fucking
It's gonna be
unbelievable.
fucking terrible.
Yeah.
I
love that, though.
It's, you know, and then like these are real conversations, I think, because this is a real industry. I believe what you're doing is a real job. I don't think that the two-gooders at the university that are fucking propping up anthropology degrees on kids like should be rewarded for doing that.
Right.
Like, we should be looking at which way is the world going,
right,
and get the fuck on board and like help people. Because like,
Agreed.
I got kids all day long that want to be content creators, want to be actors, actresses, comedians, entrepreneurs, business owners, chefs, like name it. And there's no mechanism to help them do it.
No.
You did this by yourself.
Yeah, it's it's trial by error. It's like a lot of those things, it's like you just have to get into it and do it. There is no real guide. You just have to get, you have to get your feet wet. You have to do it.
And so we want this show to be a place where you have support, where you can talk to other people, where you can connect with people, where you can look at the guest list and be like, yo, David, like, can I talk to that person?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you if you can.
Well,
like,
that's, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, obviously, I'm not going to gatekeep it, but like, I'll tell you if you're not ready to talk to that person too.
Yeah. That's a lot of like this social media business. Like it's a lot of the people, it's like you have to know, oh, this person does that. Let me ask them for some advice on this. Like I've reached out to multiple people just to ask like general advice on my brand. Like just tell me what you think. Tell me what you think about this. Do you think I should be doing something a little differently? Like just to get other people's thoughts and opinions on things. What are we doing? Is that a Criff dog in there?
A Criff dog in there.
Yeah. First episode, we got like an actual thing, man. We got gifts.
Okay.
We bring gifts. So talking to this dude, and
make sure you keep crinkling that so all the listeners can hear fucking 20% of
this is
what
how
you're
they
saying.
come.
Yeah.
ASSMR.
Yeah. That's where we're going viral.
Yeah.
In the ASMR.
We'll just sit here and do that for the rest of the interview. Just crinkle the thing in front of
We're
the
like
mic.
done 5 minutes ago, bro. This is all good. Better for balls.
Better for balls.
Underwear.
I love it.
Better for balls.
I need
Underwear.
something that's a little better.
Microplastics in the balls. No good.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not gonna do fucking ads ever.
Yeah.
Can't. I'm not.
Yeah,
good
we
at
all
it.
say that in the beginning.
I can't do it. It's not like I can't do an ad, but I can give away better for balls underwear because I like to look at someone like you're the Vulgar Chef, so I'm not gonna like throw you off with better for balls underwear.
No.
Like we got free pair of underwear for everybody
Should I
this
open it?
season. Yeah, why not?
open it. We gotta
It's
show
up
the
to
people,
you,
right?
dude.
Yeah,
The
let's
people
open
want
it.
to see it. But I mean, they're fantastic. And so UConn entrepreneur, how much do you think a business of organic underwear, how many, like the value prop, how do you sell it? How would you sell that? Like, because I was blown away at how he did it. Have you seen his ads?
No, I haven't. But I have to. Are they kind of like unhinged? Are they kind of a little edgy?
They're edgy.
You have to be edgy with something.
Right.
With
Better
and
for
better
balls.
for balls.
That's better for balls.
Like Liquid Death, Dude Wipes. I'm just, for example,
Dude
like you have
wipes.
to be
Exactly.
Your product is kind of crazy. You have to be edgy to get people.
So the dude's like, hey, I built this company. Yeah, dude. Fucking not bad, dude. Like $35. I'm like,
nice,
how are you charging $35? He's like, it's a premium product.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's quite a premium.
Those are nice.
But yeah, so yeah, he built it out with guys like standing on their head in their underwear,
Yeah.
like doing stupid shit. And I'm like, I don't know what my mom would think if I was like, this is what I'm gonna do. Same. He just went. You went this way. He was that way. Same exact career. That was why we wanted you like up first. Is like same career before. 2000. He might be a little younger than you because he's like 2015 grad from UConn.
Yeah.
Dan, and like was working on social, was working on marketing. Was like, I can do this better than for other people.
Yeah.
You know, I think when I think of how you build a brand today, where do you go with the Vulgar Chef? Do you move deeper into what you're doing or do you move across?
I think it's probably a little bit of both. You go deeper into Vulgar Chef, but then I want to make sure, like I don't want to be kind of locked into like one area. Like I want to be able to spread my wings and kind of do whatever with the brand, you know? Like I like, it was never, you know, my idea to be like, okay, it's just going to be crazy content and some merch. It's like, what else can we do in this realm? That's all kind of tied back to the brand. So it's like, I'll leave no stone unturned, dude. It's like, what, like to get involved in anything. It's like, I'm ready to go if it seems like a good idea.
What's a good idea in your, like, because like you look at it, oh, good idea. How do you filter through that question?
I mean, a lot of it just comes down to like, to me, like thinking like, is this really something I think I can do and do it well? Or is this something that I'm, you know, kind of like, this could be cool, but maybe not. So it's like, I really have to be like 100% dead set on it.
Did you know your underwear is bad for your balls?
No, I didn't.
I didn't either.
No, I've been sitting here just thinking about it. I can feel the microplastics right
In
now
you.
as I'm sitting here.
That's my problem.
Yeah.
Once I found out, it was like, how can you do it?
Yeah.
Man, I had fun today.
Yeah, me too. This was awesome.
I learned a lot, actually.
I don't think I've ever been on a podcast where like the conversation went more into the business side of like what's happening with social. It's always a lot of, what are you cooking? What are you doing? What are you? What's the crazy?
Dude, I can watch your Instagram.
Yeah.
What's the crazy? Dude, you put fucking nachos in a toilet.
Yeah, and somebody paid me to
You
do
ate
it.
Yeah, and you ate a rain sandwich.
Yeah,
Like,
it's crazy. I think
It's
about it a
all
lot.
fucking
Dude. It's like,
crazy.
this is so, especially just recently with the Dude Wipes thing. It was like, this is like, how did this come about? I'm here for it. I'm 100% here for it. Just like how, and I'm very thankful.
is there something you wouldn't do?
Is there something I wouldn't do?
You stole one of my two last questions. I do have two
I was
questions.
like,
There's something I wouldn't do. I mean, I can't think of anything specifically, but there's like people will, just in terms of like a recipe, people will be like, "Oh, put all this stuff in a blender and blend it up and drink." And it's like, no, that's
not fun.
that's not what we're doing. There's nothing funny about that. There's There's nothing creative about that. I don't know. I don't get into. I keep it with the food. We don't get into religion, politics, and this and that. It's just like I'm here. Let's entertain. Let's make people kind of forget about all that's going on.
Yeah.
This is your safe space, you know?
You don't want to make half the country hate you, whether you pick one way or another.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
It's
what a strange
Chris was
concept.
making America hot again last night. He was out making us hot.
Yeah, dude. That's not my position. I'm here to make people laugh or to shock people.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely shocking.
Yeah.
Was that your question?
My one last question is just I was telling you before we started that I hit up a couple of friends that are big, like, I don't know, would you consider yourself a foodie? I don't know if I could put you in that category, but you know, food stuff.
I'm sure
stupid
some
stuff.
of our food influencers would stick their nose up at him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do a lot of like the food influencers going to restaurants and highlighting. Like I do,
Because you don't want to get the restaurant complaints when they start to suck because they get all the business that you
well,
have.
there's that too, and it's just like, I don't. It's just when I do those, I don't enjoy doing them as much as like making the content, unless it's like a restaurant that I really enjoy, like right down the street, Hen House. I love Hen House.
Yeah, it's good.
He's always doing something killer. I'm happy to go over there and like show love and support what he's doing.
That's different than
It's different
making
than
a career out of it.
Exactly. Like I'm not up every day looking to go to a million different like I can't.
The girl from Sister Snacking was like, it's almost impossible for me to have fun going out to
Would
eat.
you have Madison?
No, Carly.
I met him. I met her. I met Madison a few times. Nice girls.
Yeah,
But
very
yeah,
nice.
they like.
But like that's like, and if they're eating and they don't do it, people are getting mad.
Yeah. They have like they are like they're beasts. They're
Right.
beasts with like the amount of places they've been to and like cover. It's like I could never. I
Yeah.
could never.
Yeah, it's a totally different thing.
It is a different thing.
Yeah.
And then, even with me, starting to do content like that, is that what my audience wants to see? And it's, I mean,
I think
because
they want to see a guy in his pie.
yeah, they do. They always do.
Yeah.
Yeah, my audience wants to see what I've been doing, and I can skew a little bit.
Yeah. Well, he's not a foodie.
Yeah. Okay. So this is where I was going with this
He's not
question.
a food influencer for sure because he doesn't even want to be an influencer.
I have so one of the people that I asked, like what questions would be good to ask you, one of my best friends, like brother to me, that I assume a lot of your audience is maybe like this, just like a line cook, like working at a burger joint,
Yeah,
like
I have
managing
a
a
lot of
burger
that.
joint, right? And he wants to do what you do like every day, and I've been trying to get him to do it for like 1 or 2 years because like I'm around people and I know most people that want to do it are going to suck. I believe that if he actually did it, he wouldn't suck.
Yeah.
So I need you to like look in the camera and tell him what he needs to do because this will be the only time. It's either going to happen now or it's not.
Yeah. Which camera? Any camera?
Now it doesn't
that
even
one?
matter, but
Push the fucking button, dude.
yeah.
Just do it. That's the only way to do it. You just have to do it.
What
Okay.
about okay? I got to keep bringing this over the line here. What about I work 6 days a week for 12 hours a day, and I only get Wednesdays off, and like all this bullshit.
I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it, dude. I did it for a year. I'm still doing it. Raising 3 kids. At
don't
one
even
point I was
have any
working,
kids.
working 3 jobs. I'd work a 12-hour shift and come home and be like, I gotta do a video. I gotta do 2 videos before I go to bed. We gotta make this fucking thing happen. So
Yeah.
you can't tap dance around it,
You wanted it
especially in
that
the
bad.
social space.
You wanted it that bad.
Yeah. Well, I think I knew I had something, and I knew that I wanted to do something on my own, and I wanted to be in charge of what I was doing. So that's the drive right there. It's like I don't want to fucking answer to people. I don't want to answer to work-related emails unless it's for myself and what I'm doing.
About eating nachos out of a toilet. Those
That's
are the
it.
only fucking emails
That's
he's
what I want.
answering.
Those are the emails I want. I want them, hey, we want you to make nachos in a toilet for our
Yeah.
brand.
And
I
we're
wanna
going to
go.
pay you
And we're gonna-
American dollars.
And we're gonna pay you American dollars, and it's gonna be awesome. And those are the emails I want.
Thank you so much, man. This is
Yeah,
fun.
dude.
You're the
Anytime.
man.
Anytime. Thank you guys.